Welcome back to Wow Biz Weekly. You know, we just spoke to Rita Rocker. She talked about the importance of cultivating and building confidence if you're a younger person kind of getting into the workforce. We've talked to Steve Jordan from the Omaha World Herald. He talked about that the economy and the local economic development community is kind of feeling their oats. They're demonstrating confidence as they're investing now in new brick and mortar expansion and even some new innovation. Very interesting scene going on. So I thought it was a perfect time to bring an old friend of mine on, not old, by the way, somebody I go back with. His name is Jim Meier, and he is a psychological coach. He mentors all kinds of athletes around the country. He's got his own podcast for many years, has a close relationship right here with Creighton University. Please welcome my friend, Mr. Jim Meier, everybody, right here. How are you, buddy?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, and thank you for joining us
Thanks
here
for having me.
almost at the last minute. Now, I know before we jump into this topic of confidence, because that's a hot topic, you've done some things with Creighton basketball team. You got a lot of things going on with this organization over here.
Yeah, well, there's I've done some work with the baseball team, basketball team, this year the soccer team.
All of those right here at Creighton University? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. You probably know your way around here better than I do, huh?
It's changing. It's nice. It's transforming.
It's transforming?
Yeah, it's
That's
good,
right.
in a good way.
Yeah. All right. Terrific. Well, should we talk about confidence here for a second?
I'm a little scared about that.
Are you a little insecure about that?
We can do that.
No, somehow I don't believe that. What is the number one block to confidence? Let's just get right to it. All right. You're our therapist here on Wow Biz Weekly. People say, you know, I've got all these dreams and aspirations, but I just don't know, and I don't know what to do, and I'm a little nervous about it all. How do you help somebody like that throw fast pitches or go ahead and achieve their goals?
Well, the number one block is sureness. That's really the definition. I'm sure in this situation that I'm going into.
Okay.
Okay. So
All right.
the word sureness is real important. So that relates directly to belief. Doubt should never go away. Doubt's important to us. It helps drive us. But belief needs to trump the doubt always.
Okay,
And
I've just
so-
learned something here. That's fantastic, because I would normally say erase self-doubt, recognize it, understand it, cropping up inside of it.
I love doubt.
You love doubt?
When I play golf, I mean, only because I can put him in his place. I'm playing golf. I'm about to hit a golf shot, and I'm playing pretty well. And belief and I are right here, and I'm talking, and got this shot, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes doubt. Jim, talking in my ear. You know, you've messed this kind of shot up before.
Yes.
Thanks for showing up. I care so much about you.
Yes.
No, literally what I do is say, thanks, good to see you. Put him in my back pocket, give him a little wick. Confidence and I are right here again, and we're playing golf.
I want to get into this.
Okay.
Do you believe that we are a collection of sub-personalities, and there are literally sub-personalities inside of us? There's Mr. Doubt. There's Mr. I'm the greatest. They argue internally constantly. You feel the anxiety, try to repress it, and then unconsciously project it on other people. And they say, boy, Hinderaker's really nuts today.
And if we had 2 hours, we could really get
We
into
could get
all
into that, couldn't we? Yeah, I think there's...
I make a joke about that just for the fun of it. I think multiple personality disorder is a good thing because you're never alone.
Well, we all say we're going to lose weight, but that's one person inside of us that says they're not going to lose weight. And the rest of us don't necessarily agree with us.
Well, who do you listen to? That's the question.
Well, let's get back to that
Okay,
then.
well, confidence is exactly the point here. Well, a couple things about confidence, too. There's trait confidence, which means a person just exudes it, okay, has confidence all over the place. By the way, sidebar to that, you got to be careful about, because they may exude it, but they may not really have it inside.
Really?
Rita was just talking about the inside part. That's
Sure,
pretty
so
much,
it's not really part of the
that's pretty
belief
much all I
system.
do.
It's like an overcompensation.
Well,
or
and,
something?
if they happen to be extremely narcissistic, that
I
can
see.
be really dangerous. They can take you places you don't want to take. Go. But there's traits.
Sounds like some politicians, I know.
There's some trait. There's also situational confidence, meaning I feel really confident in this scenario, but not this one. For example, you take Evel Knievel. He was so confident he'd jump over all kind of buses and canyons, put him in front of a group of people talking.
Couldn't do it.
Confident. No, he needed Rita.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, it's situational. It's called big fancy psychological words called efficacy, self-efficacy, causative power. I think I can make it happen.
So is it self-esteem? Is confidence and self-esteem literally the
Well,
same
all
thing?
those dots are extraordinarily connected. If you had 2 people here, one had high self-esteem, one low self-esteem.
Yes.
And you ask them to extend their comfort zone.
Yeah.
The person with the high self-esteem is more likely to go there.
Right.
Low self-esteem, they have more at risk because they don't feel as confident about themselves collectively.
Let's ask a philosophical question. Do we really have anything at risk? Big picture now. Do we really have anything? Is there anything to fear, Jim Meier?
Yeah, there is. For me, it's to be at age 90 in a bed, not moving around as much, and say, I wish I would have.
I wish I would have.
Yeah, so for me, it's the fear would be, which will not happen to me.
Yes. You're going to make absolutely sure that would be your, I'm going to live my life fully.
Every day is a gift. Every day is a gift. Everybody's a gift. They need to be unwrapped and used for the betterment of the world.
You know, we've got some fascinating people here in the audience, here at Hickson Lead Auditorium. A lot of Creighton students in the audience, as well as some very smart executives.
Great school.
Great school, and but I know, because I meet with the people, they actually help put the show together. All right, isn't that a fantastic partnership, public-private partnership?
Absolutely.
But anyway, I know that when I start talking about the changing job market and their future and so on, some of them get big-eyed. They're like, this isn't what my mom and dad told me before they sent me to Creighton. That isn't the scenario that I'm supposed to be pursuing, all right? So they get a little bit nervous about their future, and they read various books and articles. Should they be, how could a young person, 20, 21, cultivate true confidence about their career in these uncertain, turbulent times?
Review past successes, write them down, go over them again and again and again.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the first.
Celebrate whatever success you've already enjoyed.
People walk through their lives too fast and not acknowledge and use and benefit from the successes. Let me give an example from sports because it relates. Oregon State won the College World Series here back to back. They were my client. First game they played, then the first year in 06, they lost 11-1. Next day, I have them in a room, and I take them back to Little League and have them think very specifically of successes they've had. Write them down, get them on 3x5 cards, detail. They remember their number, their situation, the weather, the wind, the time of day, what color their uniform they were wearing.
Yes.
And you go over those again and again and again and again. You imprint them.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of teams don't do that. A lot of individuals don't. Look, I'm wearing tie shoes. When I was born, I didn't know how to wear tie shoes. I learned.
Yeah.
So we need to tell people that they were here, they're there.
So just keep reminding ourselves of our ability to learn and adapt regardless.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely. And if you don't want to stretch, go back here, but you're going to be leaving a lot of yourself on the table.
Yeah. That's
Which
a
is
very
why it's
interesting
very
thing.
important to be resilient, because, hey, there are times Jim Meier has certainly fallen.
Yeah.
Believe me.
It's very interesting. So as we wrap this thing up, Jim Meier, tell us a little bit about your future and your podcast here, so we kind of know. I know people keep telling me, who was that guy? How do I find out about him? Very interesting. So just give me a quick 30-second synopsis here, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, well, the title of my radio show I've been doing since 2005 is called Championship Thinking in Sports, and
Yes.
I have prominent sports figures on. Could be coaches, could be current players, could be doctors.
I heard
could
you had
be-
Bobby Richardson, former second
Bobby
baseman for the
Richardson.
New York Yankees back in the 50s
Absolutely.
and 60s.
David Eckstein recently was on the show. I have
boy.
Lefty Gomez is the famous Yankee Hall of Famer.
Incredible.
His daughter's going to be on the show next week.
Wow.
On and on. Yeah,
Now,
it's
did
a
they
lot of
talk
fun.
about the psychology of the game with
We
you?
just did a show on confidence with the most winning Kentucky, now retired baseball coach. Absolutely, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And what kind of organizations sponsor your podcast or get involved with you on a commercial side? Any particular groups we would know?
Oh yeah, well, Pocket Radar is a good example of a company that got a great tool. Certainly, electronic ability to evaluate yourself. So,
Good.
So a coach can be coaching them long distance.
Well, why don't we tell
Baseball
everybody here
bats.
before we wrap up how to find your podcast or where to go on the web to
Sure.
hear this?
Well, through my website, which is www.championshipthinkingcoach.com.
Championship Thinking Coach.
Thinkingcoach.com.
Okay, good.
My mug is there. You click on it, it goes right to the podcast, which is Web Talk Radio, and they're all archived. So the most recent one's playing there. You can you can go to all of them. They're 24/7 accessible, downloadable. I got one coach he's listing about 40 of them out of Louisville High School.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of being online with video productions or audio or
Absolutely,
whichever.
like you're doing here.
All right.
Makes sense.
Stay confident. Find the source of confidence within you. Keep moving outside of that comfort zone and rely on Jim Meier. Check him out on his website. Thanks for joining us, Jim Meier, right here on Wow Biz Weekly, everybody. My pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. We'll be right back with our fourth guest today. Don't leave us here on Wow Biz Weekly.